think all human beings have a connection with nature. It's always inside us, although when we live in a city, it can sometimes be hard to feel it. But as soon as we spend any time at the edge of the sea, or in a forest, or in the mountains, we pretty quickly rediscover the relationship we have with the natural world and remember just how good it feels to be outside and breathing fresh air. At its essence, landscape photography is an attempt to capture those feelings of wonder or awe that we get from being in a wild place, to frame it and freeze it in a moment of time in an image. And to achieve that, I really want my camera to work so intuitively, to be so much an extension of my eye, and my mind, and of my hand, that I almost don't notice that it's there. Since I started using Fujifilm cameras almost 4 years ago, I've really appreciated how well they managed to do this, how they just allow me to see and to capture the essence of a place. And the GFX 50R continues in that tradition. It's a wonderfully balanced camera, and operating it, making exposure adjustments through its dials, is a completely intuitive and tactile experience. Everything feels as though it's exactly where it should be. Shooting wild landscapes usually means quite a bit of hiking with my gear, and for that, any system I use needs to be pretty portable. It's something I've always loved about the Fuji system, and the GFX 50R, despite being a medium format camera, is small and lightweight enough for me to carry it pretty much anywhere where I need to get it. I also need a camera that's going to be able to deal with the worst that the weather can throw at me, and on this trip to Italy, for example, I've been shooting quite a bit of snow and above 3,000 metres, where the temperatures often drop below -20. It's been so cold that my phone stopped working on a couple of occasions, but the GFX has just carried on working, and that reliability and dependability to get the job done really gives you a sense of security when you're out in the field. And then of course there's the image quality. The 50 megapixel medium format sensor not only captures a wonderful amount of resolution and detail, but the dynamic range is absolutely incredible, allowing me to capture scenes in one shot that in the past I would normally have had to bracket. It's quite amazing really. The files have so much information, from the shadows to the highlights, and there's pretty much zero noise in the images. The tonal and texture rendition is just fantastic, and you know with this camera that even really big prints are going to come out looking flawless. At the end of the day though, for me, landscape photography is always about the experience of being out in the wild and having a camera that allows me to interpret the experience as effortlessly as possible, and the GFX 50R is all about that. It's a creative tool that just gets out of the way and allows me to focus on what really matters, capturing the feeling and the mood of a landscape as it appears to me and attempting to communicate those feelings through my images.